we go. Right, see how this is going to hold up. Because I have a funny feeling that this may end up going very south very quickly, but we'll see how my internet ends up holding up here. Alright! Realistically, the question is, are we getting a title one tonight? Got that. We are waiting on one more person. It means there is only going to be 14 people in the lobby today. But we are, in fact, waiting on the champion-elect, potentially. This one. Boba Fett goes into this needing to outscore Nikita by 3 points or more. So if Nikita comes second, Boba Fett must win the race. If Boba Fett does not beat Nikita tonight, then Nikita is champion. So we are just going to wait and see when Nikita goes in. If Nikita is going to plan on joining us. He is a little bit late this time out. Look like he'll probably join us partway through qualifying, more than likely. That being said, the gap is 28 points. This gives Boba Fett a massive opportunity. Absolutely gigantic opportunity, some may say, actually. With the chance to try and claw some of this advantage he's given up back to... try and claw back the advantage that he has given Nikita. Alright, looks like we're going into qualifying. Looks like Nikita will have to join us part way through qualifying then. Alright, that's the 30-second countdown sorted, so we're going to head into Monza. 18 minutes of qualifying, 27 laps of the race itself, with a possibility of crowning a new champion. Are we going to crown a champion today, or is it going to be dragged all the way to Bahrain at the end? That's the real question we're going to decide on this evening. Just going right up to the end of it now. Just going to set up properly to see if who's going to have the balls in qualifying. Put telemetry on, lap data on, and the minimap in full. I hope everyone can hear me all right today. Actually, I'm not crackling or anything like that. The stream isn't breaking up as it stands either. The question is, how long is it going to take for us to see a car enter the track here then? So Berber, the big one. The one that had a chance of clawing things back. Let's see how this plays out. Bubba will have a faster car than Nikita does today, though. I think Master Creator has a... I think Master Creator's got a qualifying ban, so he just has to go out for his flying lap, for his first out lap, and then come back in to make sure his setup is set. This is going to be fairly interesting then. So, one of the racing balls down and out of qualifying. Jaguar Racing Ball is going to be a very interesting scenario as well. Then you got Boba in a Haas. Nikita, when he joins, will be in a kick Sauber. So it should be advantage Boba in terms of the car. Wonder how that's going to play into this race as a whole. Right, we're going to wait. We're actually going to go on Jagdi because he looks like he's the closest to the line to start setting a flying lap here. I'm about to say the yellow flags are going to start flying at the end of the third sector. A few people are now coming toward the end of it. Here we go. First flying lap of the day is now underway. Jagdi will get us on the board then in a couple of minutes' time. The Alpine for him. Chris, after his is in the background as well, after his escapades in the Red Bull at Austria last week, having a brilliant time, sets him into the McLaren. Also got a couple of cars on track to Miku there as well. On a flying lap at the moment, Frosty One has just entered the first sector, I believe. Well, entered the first chicane, rather. Oh! Jagdi, sorry, is round! He is ghosted, he is off the track, trying to re-enter. And get out of the way of Chris Miku. That is an awful start for Jagdi there. I can see Q1 as well. Have we just put on full qual? I hope not. I hope not. Let's have a look. Just making sure that it's sorted out. Looks like a 1:19.7 there. Pitts, I would be very surprised. Yeah, I'd say I'd be surprised if he elected to set a time. Wicked about to go on a lap. We will go to Tichy then, because he is now the closest one to the line on a flying lap. Arctic School is the car behind him. Both of them on flying laps as of right now. The Arctic Squirrel might be getting a little bit of a toe, if nothing else, off that Mercedes. You go round Parabolica. All the way to the line now then. All the way to the line with Tichy. 21.9. Arctic did a 21.1, 20.0 for the Frosty One. Wicked not next to the line, so is Chris the next one to the line, which means he's going into the pits and will stay with Nakuta then, who should in theory take a quite significant advantage here. It's going to be the pits for the McLaren. It won't be the same for the Williams. I can imagine the Williams should take an advantage, and he will do. 0.6 of a second into pole position for the Williams. Boba 19.6 in the Haas is not a good start for him. Puts him second, but he's still half a second off where he needs to be. I think though could get very interesting now though in terms of Vatican Wicked. There's a 21.188, almost ahead of Arctic Squirrel, but those two seem to be will be going fighting during today then. Tichy is currently down, Arctic Squirrel is currently down, so that's the end of their laps there. Zamiku, the next one to the line, we'll stick with him. Zemu has done a 20.8, puts him into 5th. 5 yet to put a lap up. Massacrator won't be putting a lap up, so it's technically 4 without a lap up to this point. We saw Jagdy have to spin earlier. Interesting scenario is if Nikita doesn't end up showing up here. Because then Boba's got a real chance of cutting that gap all the way down to 3, and then it'll be winner takes all next week. Currently watching the Miku then. The rest of the group that was out is now heading back to the pits. You can imagine Miku's will be the happiest of the lot through the first couple of laps here. 91 is a half second clear of anyone else. 26.7 first sector for Zamiku. Got a couple of drivers on track right now. Jaguar just started his first flying lap. 4 on the track at the moment. Jagdy's one of them. Looks like a lucky high one is the Williams in front of Zamiku who are currently watching. The only one not on a flying lap through the first, on the track right now. 54.4 there, I think that was. Through 2 sectors there for Zamiku, who did not carry anywhere near enough speed on the exit of Ascari. Imagine you'd have to, you should be looking at the very least to try and go over the edge exit curb to see what you can do. 22.5 to Zamiku. It fell away very quickly there. Invalidated for Jagdy as his qualifying session is not going anywhere fast. 52.5 through the second sector for Jaguar. A couple attempts quicker than a couple of seconds quicker rather than what we were seeing from Zamiku, which would put him in around 4th place. That is with an entire sector to go to try and catch the 19 into the 19th. You're going to be on pole, you need 18 to the very least. Jaguar to the line now, 18, 19, 19.2! Almost able to get Nakuda, but he is 700ths of a second down. So, if he's going to get him, he's going to have to get him at a different point. Let's see what Lucky High One can do. The Williams compatriot for Nakuda at the moment. Going round into the final sector at the moment. Trying to get himself a lap time on the board for the first time in this session. Nikita has joined now, so Boba's missed an opportunity to strike early. 19.4 for Lucky High One, and the 2 Williams are off to a flyer. Boba just entered the track. We'll see if there's any improvement coming. That's just corner cutting. So much he's managed to break every polystyrene board there is on the outside of Monza. About 8 minutes left to go in the session. Nikita should get 2 solid laps in. Boba's going to have to hope for a mistake or 2 here from Nikita. Otherwise, this is going to become very problematic for him very quickly. If Nikita's 1, he needs to be 2. Quite frankly, he needs to be ahead of him the entire way. Nakuda currently up on his time right now then. Up by just under 1/10 of a second. This will take him into potentially the 19.0 as it stands. Looks like Christian did a 19.2. Look at that. From the McLaren. Up in a 3rd. In with a great shout. Nakuda just invalidated his lap. That will make his life a little bit more miserable. Rossi one currently 0.5 of a second down on his best time. and find something in the final sector. He can get himself closer to that top 5. All top 5 in the 19.7 or, well, 96 or below. Another 8/10 of a second gap to Frosty 1. That gap is going to come down quite sizably, though, because he is now in the 19.8. Frosty 1 keeping himself in tabs with Boba. That does not look good. That never looks good. When you're sat there and you have no front wing, can only mean a really bad thing has happened. It's not usually very often you lose a front wing qualifying, that's for certain. So you've either spun that, but I think with the Red Bull being in and around, I think there may have been something between those two. Make that very interesting. Honestly, I wish there was a way to see that back, but nonetheless, Boba has had an absolute, well, had a not so great start to qualifying here. Nikita is on his first flying lap. No, invalidated for Pizema then. Arthur Squirrel is going at the moment. Stick with him. Titched the car behind, Nikita after that. So I think Zamiku just started an extra lap, his lap as well. So we'll see if he's got anything to improve on the 22.5. He should do. Shouldn't be anything lower than the 20 here. Otherwise you are going to have a lot of problems later on. To the tune, if you're that slow, it might be to the tune of blue flags as well. The Arctic's backed out. Nikita and then also Nikita is going through then. It looks like Tichy also backed out. Nikita toward the line. Is this going to be an improvement on pole position? No, it's not. It's a 20.029. It is not a good time by Nikita's standard. Boba got his wish. One of the laps that Nikita is going to be able to put together has been botched. The problem is, you're likely going to need a second. You're likely going to need a second mistake here. It's a 20.9 for Zamiku. It's still the least, the slowest of the times that we will have up to this point. 1.8 seconds off the back of Nakuda, pretty much. Got to find a bunch of time here. I imagine it won't be at this point, though. Wicked has invalidated his lap, so he won't be doing too much more damage here then. Nikita also on a in-lap. So I think we're pretty much set up for in-laps galore, apart from Jaguar. The only guy on the track right now set to do a next lap. A flying lap here, 19.251. Is currently the position he finds himself in. His fastest time, 7/10, or 7/100th of a second, sorry, to the dot. Likes to come into the pits anyway. Wicked and Pizema should both be in that conversation as well, I would assume. They're both pretty much diving straight in, unless Wicked is going for a little bit of a run here. As I say, with that lack of use, it's going to be very difficult for him to do anything with that. So we'll switch to the Aston Martin now then, because he's about half the track closer to the start-finish line than the McLaren is. A nice little look at both of the laps, realistically. There we go, Pizema on the track right now, about to start a flying lap. We wanted two people on the track at this point in time. It looked like there's a couple coming out the pits though. Should wait for the Aston Martin to go by, and they will do. It looks like one of them is a Williams. It is Akuta that has just entered the track, and the Frosty one as well. Like Nikita is about to bounce out of the pits for good measure. Arctic Squirrel and Titchy Boom have decided to become conjoined at the hip. In basically every sense of the word. 10th and 11th literally won't let go of each other's cars. Next you'll say they're actually in a party and probably speaking to each other in real life. Everyone's just starting to filter out their final flying lap. Alright, we've got a couple of cars here coming to the end of the laps. One of them is Pizemu, looking to improve. If he can improve, it should take him up above Nikita, which is a sentence you definitely wouldn't have expected me to say coming into the day. The championship leader currently apprehended by Pizemu at the moment. Pizemu up to a 19.889, just behind the Frosty 1. The problem for Pizemu is that is effectively qualifying done and dusted in the books for him. That makes things very interesting then. Titchy just started his flying lap. Looks like Arctic Squirrel will do the same. And there's Chris! Chris with a 19.0 in the McLaren! Right at the end, we have got a very interesting scenario forming now. If you're going to be on pole, it's an 18 that you'll need to do. The McLaren putting on a show. Waited until very late in the season to try it, but has been putting things together right now. Card in the final sector just trying to get themselves a little bit of space. Nikita currently a 10th and a half up in the first sector. That's still only good enough to take him right back to where he was with Pizemu and not in front. I can imagine though that 6-7 tenths of a second is probably the gap he would have in the first place. Especially in these last couple of sectors. They can easily watch out a lot of time. And he is currently 3.5 tenths up. That's still not that much time in terms of what's going on with Nikita. That might trouble Boba Fett. Wait and see if Boba Fett's got an improvement. I do see chat, yeah, sometimes. But right now I'm looking on the track. Here we go, Nikita to the end. Nikita to the end. Is this an improvement? Is this going anywhere? No, it is not. It is just about quicker than Pizemu. And that's about that. For Nikita, he's going to have to start from a decent way back. This could get very interesting then. Arctic Squirrel to the pits. Miku not improving. Titchy on a 20.0. Wicked on 19.9. Nakuza still, well, actually, Jaguar 18.7. And is there anything in for Boba Fett? It's a 19.1. It's good enough for 4th. But Jaguar actually is good enough for 5th because Jagsy sets it right at the depth time there. He get himself to a 19.026 and only good enough for 3rd. We've got Lucky Eye one to the line, but he's not improving. So here's Jaguar on pole. It is Jaguar on pole then. The constructors the constructors leaders are just buoying in a little bit more. Chris with a beautiful lap though, gets himself a 2nd, Jagny 3rd, Nakuza 4th, Boba 5th. Now if you're looking at this and you're Boba, you quite frankly have missed a trick here. Your gap is 28 in the championship. You need to bring it under 25 today to even exist with a title fight going into Bahrain. And your championship rival's 8th. The championship rival has not put much together at all in the slightest. Which means there's a step missing here. Realistically, for Bobu, who only starts in 5th, has got to make his way forward and got to make it quickly as well before Nikita starts dispatching people in this race itself. Massacre at the back also should make easy positions up early on in this one. He might play spoiler later on. Either way, the current championship leader in the Constructors, Jaguar, and Yarlo. While Yarlo's not here today, Jaguar's got himself a pole position. Boba and Prozemu only good enough for 5th and 9th, respectively, so it's a 4-point gap, but it's not damage done at all in the Constructors' Championship at the moment. Massacre and Lucky High won 25 points off the lead. Everyone else very much needed a miracle before they fight that back. So it is a four-way fight for the Constructors, three-way fight, sorry, for the Constructors at the moment. We'll have to see who's got the balls in this race to really put themselves in a good position. In terms of the drivers, it was a 2-horse race beforehand. Yarlo can't catch anymore. There's only 50 points on offer. He's 62 back, so the gap is simply between Nikita and Boba Fett. It is currently 28. Good evening. Yeah, good evening, Natty. Name for a second then. Yeah. Needs to be under 25 by the end of the day for Boba to keep it alive. He needs to beat Nikita by 1 position if he's anything higher than 3rd. Or if he's anything lower than 3rd, he needs to beat him by multiple. This is going to be big because Boba Fett, he could have taken advantage here. This is one way he realistically had the opportunity and dropped it. He fumbled it in the qualifying session. I wonder if there's any race pace in there for the in the Haas car. No Ukrainian battle for the championship will continue on through this one. I assume we're going to have a lot of twists and turns here because this is Monza. This does not end cleanly in the slightest. Just going through the formation lap at the moment. It is Jaguar from Chris with another beautiful lap. He put one together last week in Austria. He's found his way just a little bit here in the last couple of races of the season. Left it too late to put his mark on it, but still he'll take the momentum going into next season. And you got Jagsy and Nakuda on the second row. Nakuda will be a very interesting one to watch throughout. Then you've got Boba, the championship challenger at the moment, who obviously needs a big day, and he needs to keep it essentially fall apart with 2 races to go. A win today would go a very long way for Boba. It will ensure we go to Bahrain. The gap could an absolute maximum of 21 points, which means there is an opportunity winning next week would do it. But he would have to win the race in that scenario. Every position, if he does win, and every position lower for Nikita, that second would give him an extra position he could end in Bahrain. That Boba Fett could end in Bahrain nonetheless. Alright, so we're going to get going. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And after a lengthy delay, it's lights out and away we go. Who's going to get the best start? Nikita is flying. And that is the worst case scenario for the Haas in 5th. Nikita on the inside. At turn 1, we have damage left, right and centre, and Boba is already behind the King Sauber. And that might be game, set, and match of the championship already. That is an absolutely flying start from Nikita from 8th to 3rd in a corner. Chris and Jagsy are flying at the moment. Boba's got himself up 2. Boba up into 4th. He has got to attack Nikita. As soon as Nikita drives away here, it'll be game over Don't forget, if Boba does not beat Nikita on track today, then Boba will not be able to take this to Bahrain. It will be championship crowning time moment if Boba cannot beat the kick Sauber. Lucky I1 in 7th. Frosty 1 not doing too well, dropping down at 8th off a start. Zamiku in 9th, Wicked Prophet in 10th. Massacrator's only gained 3 at the moment. Arctic Squirrel and Titchy dropped to the back, with Prozemu in front of them. Massacrator should start making his way through sooner rather than later. Nakuza and Jaguar have got away early. Zamiku and Wicked Prophet fighting it out in the middle of the pack there. Massacrator and Zamiku trying to fight it out as well. That looks like Massacrator's up into 10th then. Also a little bit of a switcheroo there between Jagdi and Chris as well. Looks like Massacrator just bounced straight into the back of the McLaren while he's trying to stop the Red Bull going anywhere in the first chicane. Everyone getting a bit closer into the second chicane now here at Monza. Looks like Massacrator just trying to pick his spot against Wicked Prophet. If he can get himself on the inside here of one of the Lesmers, it would be an early opportunity. If not, he can go down towards Ascari. He will get a nice little bit of DRS to go with, but basically so will the rest of the grid. Nikita has got himself all the way within 0.3 of a second, and Nakuza is currently in second. Boba's got to keep himself in with the shout against Nikita. The problem is for Boba, as soon as Nikita gets past 1, that'll open that second gap and he'll struggle from there. Everything Nikita goes for, Boba's got to go for as well. Massacrator looking for a move on Wicked Prophet. Wicked Prophet trying to squeeze him all the way to the inside. Gives him room to come back on. And Massacrator should have the advantage there. Massacrator might even go on a little bit further forward. Frosty 1 will not be too happy about that, because I think Massacrator basically just shoved him all the way off. There's no real way he was ever surviving that one. Massacrator not really giving any room to work with. Nico trying to go after Prozemu, but not really finding any such luck at the moment. The Frosty 1 is now at the back of the grid. I can imagine there'll be some choice words from Massacrator after that one. So Lucky I1 going after Chris, who's dropped down to 6th now. Here we go, he might be dropping down to 7th. Lucky I1 up in a 6th. All of a sudden, Massacrator and Lucky I1 not looking dead in the water for the championship yet. In terms of the constructors, they're in 6th and 8th at the moment. Don't forget, Jaguar is leading this race, and Jaguar is currently in the lead of the constructors championship with Yarlo. That gap being 4 points to Boba and Prozemu. Prozemu in 10th at the moment. Here comes Nikita on Nakuza, and Nikita is up in a 2nd, and this is going to be problematic now. Massacrator is up in the 7th as well, so those two getting an extra couple of points for their championship push. Now the McLaren facing the wrong way. That's the McLaren dropping a few places. And Wicked is all the way down into 11th, into 12th. The Miku's gone by, and the Wicked got it all sorts of wrong there. Three and a half tenths between Prozemu and Chris. And he also has to try and defend from Tichy at some point as well. Prozemu getting a couple of points, Boba's in 4th. Right now, Jaguar is still outscoring the both of them. Looks like about 14 points currently on the board for Boba and Prozemu in terms of the championship fight. 25 on the board for Jaguar, who's got an entire 1.3 second advantage to Nikita, who is in 2nd and clearing the car behind. The problem now for Boba is that Nakuza has dropped out of the 2nd mark, or just about. Maybe he's able to keep DRS in for this straight at the very least. Boba's going to look to the inside, and this is the right call. This is a good call to make this move here into turn 1. Because he's going to get it done. Now, the interesting part for Boba is he's going to get himself back within that second. He's got to get himself involved in with Nikita the entire way. It also looks like Prezimu has just got past Chris, and he is up into 8th now with his Prezimu. Be an extra couple of points in the bag then for that Constructors' Championship fight. Still not enough to overtake Jaguar in just this race alone though. That looked like a McLaren having a mare in the background. That might be Wicked Prophet. Losing out to Zamiku in the background. All the way round, all the way wide. And Wicked will drop behind Zamiku down into 13th. It looked a little bit scrappy the entire way through the first Lesmo. He's going to go straight back for it now. To the inside of the Ascari chicane. Not really getting much of anything. Kiting far too shallow. And Demiku once again is in a good position. The Frosty one looking for a move to the inside. Wicked has decided the track is not where he wants to be. And is still in last to the result of it. Zamiku losing out to Frosty one as well as he looks to try and make his way back. Wicked gets 3 seconds worth of track limit penalty. Zamiku's having a problem. It looks like Jagdi's having a problem. And there goes both Lucky High One and Massacrator on through as the Alpine is struggling through the first chicane. So Zamiku drops to the back in the Red Bull. Wicked Prophet up 1 place, 1.8 seconds ahead of Zamiku as well right now. He needs to get 3 in order to make sure he doesn't drop any places. Frosty one is catching up to Arctic Squirrel and Titchy Boom. Those two, and Chris and Prezemu as well. 4-way little battle going on there. Looked a little bit wide there from Jagdi into the second of the Lesmos. Boba has well and truly got himself in with a chance against Nikita as they head down towards Parabolica. It looks like Nikita is just keeping himself ahead right now, but that Haas is well and truly going to give Boba an advantage as they head down the straight. This could be a very important move that is about to happen if it does happen here. He's going to look, just dip outside for a split second. Jagdi is now into the pits. He'll be the first one to pit then. Jagdi the first into the pits. He'll drop to the back then, onto the medium tyres now. Everyone's looking to 2-stop at the very least. 27 laps of the race, so we're already on lap 7 with the leading pack. Chris is trying to fight his way back against Prezemu. It looks like he might take advantage of that, because that did not look like a good exit there at all from the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin needs to string a couple of good corners together. They'll take that through the first Lesmo. We'll take that through the second Lesmo. Binky may have just opened himself up half a second, if not more, in towards Ascari with 2 excellent executed exits on the exit of the 2 Lesmos as they headed down towards Ascari, and Prezemu has got himself a sizable lead over Chris at the moment. Nothing really changing further out front. Here comes Boba again. Takes another little look at Nikita, but elects not to do it there. Like Chris is into the pits then. McLaren is into the pits. Very interesting scenario. What people are electing to do. Zamiku into the pits as well. Jagdi should be out well ahead of the both of them. And is going to be out well ahead of the both of them. Only just starting to leak the pits now, so Jagdi up into 12th. Jaguar the 3.5 second advantage at the lead of this race. It is excellent news for the racing ball. It is not good news if you are Boba. Given the fact that he realistically needed to win this race, 30-second time penalty for corner cutting for the McLaren. He has actually just dropped he just plummeted some time to Zamiku there as well. It looks like everything is still intact. I assume it's probably the polystyrene boards at turn 1. They're probably, well, he probably just drove straight through it, admittedly. Not that we're going to get to see. Tichy is right on the back of Pademu with Arctic Squirrel there as well. Massacre now into the pits. In comes Pademu as well. But the medium tyres are starting to pit now. If you can do a couple of 8s on the softs, you'll turn into 11 on the mediums as well. Wait and see how people elect to choose to do that. Obviously, still got the 2 in the pits. Those 2 will come out toward the back. Zemu is out now, actually. It is substantially ahead of the Frosty One, who came out well ahead of Chris as well, even without that 3-second time penalty. That 3-second time penalty is not going to mean anything to Zamiku, that's for certain. Back toward the front. Boba is really putting some pressure on Nikita, who is now 5.5 seconds off the back of Jaguar, who's got this in hand after the first third of the race. Here comes Boba. Is he going to be able to keep the championship dream alive for now? To the inside, into turn 1. The championship rivals going at it. Boba should have the advantage, and he will have the advantage. He is up in a second. I wonder what the countback situation looks like in terms of this season. Don't forget, if it's 25 points, I'm pretty sure the extra set of points you usually do for GT and all that don't really matter. Actually, they don't matter at all. Pole and Bastard Lap don't actually mean anything. Boba had actually he's won 1 race, this season. 4 seconds, does Boba Fett. Nikita has 5 wins, so if it is still 25 points by the end of the night, it is well and truly game over in countback as well. So it needs to be more than, less than 25 by the close of play. Good luck. Boba might be in need of a safety car here to get that to work. And he comes to the pit stop. I think Nakuza came in as well. He did. Lucky I1 stays out. I can assume Tichy and Arctic will stay out as well. And they do exactly that. So, Boba in, Nakuza in. The back 5 or 6 have already pit once, all the way through to Pademu, I'm pretty sure. Yep. All the way back to Pademu in 10th place. Nakuza out in 9th. A driver with no such luck is Boba though. Boba up into 6th. Came out ahead of Jagdi, ahead of Massacrator. Nakuza couldn't match the same sort of pace, so Nakuza is out behind both of them, and now this could get interesting in that regard. Tichy and Arctic. Oh, Tichy's had a problem! He's got no front wing at all! That it's going to bring out a VSC. Not a full one. But it is going to bring out the virtual safety car. We will have the race neutralized for a small while. I mean, I'm very intrigued in when they... Oh, Nikita just got 10 seconds speed in the pit lane! Oh, that is massive! That is gigantic! Boba may have just been thrown a lifeline. Wicked Poppy gets drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car. Boba is coming out now. That is Nakia in the background. And Nakia is behind Jagsy. And he has the 10-second time penalty. That when they have to pit again, which is the more likely scenario, he'll serve then. That'll be an absolutely massive hit. 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane for Wicked Prophet, whose day goes from bad to worse to the point where I wouldn't be too surprised if he isn't too far away from an actual disqualification. Drive through for Zamiku as well. $16 seconds on top of the drive-through for Wicked Prophet, and that is just how you know it is not your day. Don't forget, Jaguar has not pit yet. Jaguar has not pit. Most of the rest of the grid has. Nikita has gone past Jagsy. So Nikita passed the LP. I'm wondering whether or not Nikita has to pit again. I would assume so. Nikita's going to go past. Nikita on the inside. Nikita gets them both. Up in a third for Nikita, and they're just going to barrel away. Well, they're just going to fall away, rather, from Boba up ahead, because these two are fighting. Nikita on the inside, looking for a move. Jagdi's there as well. They've both gone back past the Williams driver. And Nikita now has the advantage again. Nikita drops out to Massacrator, who gets them both. Potentially, if he can get a good enough exit in towards turn 4. Is he going to go for it here? Nope, he'll have to settle for the one move instead. Or will he? That looked like a very good exit. Down towards the first of the Lesmos, back in as well. So nothing stupid from Massacrator. Got himself up a long way already. And now the DRS is going to kick in as well. Nikita drove away from these three. Quite handsomely as well. Oh, there's more contact, and Nikita is well and truly at fault for that, I'm pretty sure. That is a safety car. And if you are Nikita, you are counting your lucky stars. Massacrator in the wall. I'm pretty sure that's Nikita came swiped across him for no reason. That was, well, that was one of the attempts of all time. That will induce the safety car. Let's see if we can find it pretty nicely on stream here. See if we can get a second quick look at this while the safety car is out. Yeah, it was. There's no need for Nakuza to do that in the slightest. I think it was Nakuza that did that, or was it Lucky High One? No, it looked like, yeah, it's definitely Nakuza. It's just a wild move in the first place. We now go through the safety car, period. Well, 10-second penalty wiped away. Nikita got extraordinarily lucky. Almost shot himself in the foot as well. He has got himself in a position now where he's got to be extremely happy with his situation. Jaguar is probably the infuriated the most, because he had a substantial racing lead. It's somewhat interesting now, but at the same time, I was actually looking to see what Nikita would have been able to do with that penalty. The answer was not going to be a lot by the looks of things. Now he's going to get a reprieve. and the ability to get back onto the back of everybody. Berber's going to get Arctic Squirrel here. He's going to get Lucky High One as well. Problem is for Berber that so is the rest of the field. Lucky High One maybe got out in front of him. Arctic Squirrel definitely did not. So Lucky High One did get out in front of him, which means Nikita will start the race and restart in 6th place. Boba will start it in 3rd, and if it ended like this, I reckon Boba would be somewhat okay with calling the whistle now. Because this would bring him into, what, this would be 15 points on the race. Nikita 12, 10, 8 would be 7 points further back. It would effectively be like winning the race and Nikita coming 2nd. It'll bring it down to 21. She's the same thing as essentially winning and coming 2nd. So, I mean, yeah, you can only ask them how they're feeling. I think Nikita will be a gigantic sigh of relief, to be completely honest with you. Is Boba going to snatch this? Boba's got a problem. Lucky High One's trying to catch him up. Boba's just avoiding trying to get a drive-through penalty here. Is he going to beat out Is he going to beat him out? Is he going to beat Nakuta out? Oh, this is going to be close! They're both going to beat Nakuta out! Okay, so Boba will restart this race in 2nd then. I am fairly intrigued at what's happening here. 41, nope. So who's the car with... Is that a Red Bull? It is a Red Bull. It's a Miku. Oh no, it's the McLaren. It's the McLaren of Wicked. Oh, he's been lapped. Okay, he's a potential problem then. For everyone trying to hold on to the back of Jaguar again. The main man in that scenario is Boba. A gigantic opportunity he had in qualifying to try and get himself away from Nikita was blown straight away. Nikita got past him by the time turn 1 even hit. And now the opportunity will open up again, where if he can get a good start, he might be able to challenge Jaguar. He will have a 4-position advantage. A 4-position head start, essentially, on Nikita in this 2nd stint of the race. We'll have 11 to go. We aren't going to go this lap. To be honest with you, I'll be very surprised if we go next lap as well. Nikita is going to be the one that drags us close enough. Boba was just trying to sort down, slow himself down a little bit there. Oh, he got 10 seconds for ignoring a yellow flag! I think there's a yellow... I think there was one for Lucky High One there as well! There was! I'm not entirely sure why. I can't tell you why. I know the game said it was ignoring a yellow flag, but why? Who? What's the yellow flag that they could possibly have been trying to avoid? Wait, oh, they overtook Wicked! Oh my god. Okay, let's see what this actually... Let's see if this could be shown on the replay, why they got that 10-second penalty. Yeah, it's Wicked going slow. That's why Boba slowed down. It's Wicked dropping off. Yeah, I don't think that 10 seconds is going to stand if they decide not to pit again. If I'm Boba, if I'm a Lucky High One, I don't pit again for the rest of this race. You test bait. You report that to the stewards and go, look, take it away. Give me my 10 seconds back. This is going to be interesting now. Everyone is bunched back up. It is lap 17. We'll get going on lap 18. There'll be 10 laps left of this race to go. Boba is right behind Jaguar here then. So it's going to be a case of who catches who's sleeping. Who's going to get away early. We're going to get ready to go on Jaguar's go here. He's going to leave it as late as possible. He is gone. Is Boba paying attention? The Frosty one gets 10 seconds for speeding through. And for speeding in the pit lane, and Zamiku has been disqualified for ignoring his drive-through penalty. What the hell is going on? So Zamiku has been disqualified from the session. Chris and Arctic Squirrel fighting out for a 10th at the moment, but I think Chris may have actually deceived. No, he's just was ghosted for some reason. Oh, this is carnage. I'm pretty sure the two at the front are going to get their 10 seconds taken away from them for the incidents with Wicked earlier on in the safety car line. It is, well, interesting because Boba is nowhere near Jaguar all over again. Jaguar is just blown off the start, blown away again. He has been unstoppable on this track. I don't think Boba cares, however, because if he can get this and Nikita stays where he is, that gap's going to come down a sizable way. 18 points to the 8 of Nikita right now. So that would be 10 points down. The gap will be 18 going into Bahrain as it stands. If Boba can somehow snatch a race win here, that gap will drop to 11. That would be a significantly better opportunity for Boba in Bahrain than anything else. 11 is beatable. He would need help. It would require a first compared to a fourth, but it would be no different than what's happening in this race right now. Nikita going past the Jagsy, who's got a problem. Jagsy has got a problem. Is there damage to his car? It doesn't look like it, but he had a problem nonetheless. Nikita will gain the position. Massacrator went on through as well. Things will continue to get a little bit more spicy in this race then. The problem you've got for problem Boba has right now is that he has not kept Jaguar at bay. He has not kept him at arm's length for all the slightest. And when DRS starts to kick in here, that's going to be a significant problem. Here comes Chris trying to, well, actually getting overtaken by the Frosty One there on the inside. The Frosty One is on soft tyres. He got a nice little run for Parabolica and go through. Up into 12th for now, but back down because Chris has got a nice little run. Oh, actually, that's Tichy, sorry, and Chris. One position further up the field. That looked like Arctic and Prezemu fighting in front of that. Frosty One is on the soft tyres right now. I figured why. I didn't know why he would. Why I thought he was so close. He's definitely not. I am very intrigued to see how things unfold here when it comes to the stewarding and how they're going to police those 10-second penalties. One thing's for certain, I certainly would not be pitting again. Would not be worth it. Also means you cannot have that 10 seconds removed if you did. 3 seconds there for Massacrator as he tries to go after Nikita. He's been bringing up before the race about how he's been as level pegging to Nikita as he could possibly get. Is it his proper time to show it? Nikita did not look good through Parabolica there. It looked a little bit shallow on the entry. It looked a little bit wide on the exit. Here we go. Nakuza and Lucky High One switching positions in the Williams there. Nikita is right on the back of Lucky High One now, and Lucky High One is starting to struggle. Jagdi has got back ahead of Prezemu here. into 7th place. We got a yellow flag in sector 1, and that is the McLaren of Chris, who again had an excellent qualifying and in this race has just not got it going, and will somehow find himself on the outside of the points here. After an electric qualifying lap, he's definitely got the pace in one lap, but not the consistency for 27 apparently. Zemu is currently launching his way towards Jagsy as they head down in towards the Ascari chicane. It's not going to happen though for Zemu here, who has cleared an entire second on Arctic Squirrel, which is good news for him. Or had cleared an entire second until the end of the Ascari chicane. The Ferrari had a much better exit. It isn't really able to hold up in a straight line. Maybe a little bit too much downforce here for Arctic Squirrel. We're now split into two very distinct packs. One of which Massacrator just overtook. Lucky High One dropping to the back of the front pack here. Massacrator will get into 5th for now. Lucky High One obviously has a 10-second time penalty. Not sure it's going to stand, but he does have one. Tichy is going up against Arctic here for that final point spot. Those two cleared away from the group in front, with Prezemu and Jagsy quite substantially ahead of the Mercedes now. GI1 trying to keep himself at the back of Massacrator. Nikita has got himself back within a second of Nakuzura. Had done momentarily. Hasn't kept it there at this point in time though. That second just growing a little bit larger. Wicked Prophet picks up another 3 seconds. I wonder how close he is to this getting disqualified by this point. Nikita is dropping well off the back now of Nakusa in Parabolica. It drops about 3/10 of a second there. DRS will not be his as a result. I wonder if Massacrator is going to be able to try and sneak his way back into that second time to put some pressure on Nikita in the second half of this race. Zemu and Jagsy are going at it. Down the back straight, Jagsy launching to the inside. Jagsy has got a nice move there, and it's not going to stick. Zemu has done an excellent job of keeping himself alive in turn 1. His entrance into it, I thought he was going into a different continent. And Jagsy round the outside takes it straight back, and Jagsy this time will not be denied. And he is up in a 7th. There's no hope in hell of catching the group in front, but up in the 7th nonetheless. Boba is being chased down by Nakusa now. Don't forget that points tally needs to be lower than 25 by the end of the day. Prezemu's got back on Jagsy here. I assume these two are going to go back and forth the entire way until we hit the final lap. Because those two do not seem to be away from trading positions. If they head into Parabolica, I don't really see a way this doesn't end up in... Oh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Jagsy's gone well wide. Well wide of the mark in the... in Parabolica. It's not going to matter, however, as the DRS is just unreasonably powerful and will just drive him right past the Aston Martin. Oh, the Aston Martin dropped the car! The Aston Martin dropped the throttle, and Tichy will go by, and Arctic Squirrel will go by, and he dropped to 10th. Dropped 5 points for the Constructors' title as well. They would have been 1 point off of Jaguar in this race without that half spin there for Prezemu. If you end up ahead of someone else, so maybe a lucky high one, and maybe if one of them didn't get that penalty removed, even though I think they will, would have given them an actual lead in the Constructors' Championship. Well, that dream is starting to fade away now as well. Jaguar is doing an exceptional job to hold on to the one-man crew. Around the outside of Wicked, just basically slowing down out the way of the two cars here. We've got Massacre and Nikita. Nikita losing out now then. Massacre, I was about to say, Massacre needed to get in within that second to start putting pressure on Nikita. And he did exactly that. No real issues in what Massacre was able to do there. Problem is, it's good luck getting yourself in a position where you clear the 3 seconds of the penalty you currently have. Nikita is good at just keeping himself involved. We are on lap 25 of 27 here. Massacre would need a quite heavy miracle here to beat Nikita from this point onwards. Nikita is trying to keep with Boba, but every time he tried to get close enough, it just seems to fall back away. Looks like Nikita is dropped off to about 8/10 of a second behind Boba. That gap will come back down with the use of DRS here, down into towards turn 1. The problem is for Nikita is that Boba is slowly but surely edging his way back to Jaguar. The medium tires are starting to fall off. This could get a lot more interesting with 1 and a bit to go. Massacre is still ahead of Nikita for now. 1 and some change to go. 1.2 seconds to lead in this race. Tichy just got past Jagsy. A good run right now for Tichy as he gets himself up in a 7th. Might be his best race of the season so far, actually, the Mercedes. Here comes the Alpine, however, to fight him straight back. Down the inside, heading into the second chicane. Oh, a little bit unsettled on the inside there. They hit the sausage curb. They avoid contact, and the Alpine will drive away slowly here from Tichy. Boba is flying. Boba is dragging Jaguar into a fight Jaguar did not expect him to find himself in today. Jaguar has been in control for 26 laps. The problem is, it doesn't matter what you're in control of going in, it's whether or not you can keep yourself in control through lap 27, and that's where we're going into now. Our ticket's out of the session. There will not be a safety car. Boba is just too shallow to try and overtake Jaguar out of the first chicane. There's a little bit of a snap on the exit of turn 3. Well, it looks like Frosty One is going to get a little bit of a reprieve. He's going to get a position here. Wicked Profit being a lap down will not. Jagsy gets up 3 seconds. So Tichy and Prezemu are going to gain positions. It also means that Chris is guaranteed now a top 10. It is going to be neck and neck here. Nikita is trying to force himself inside as well into this battle. Down with DRS into Ascari. This is going to be it for Boba. This is going to be massive. He got himself the lead of the race right at the end with about 1 turn to go through Ascari. Massacre picked up 3 more. And Boba just has to survive Parabolica now. On lap 27, the 10-second penalty will almost certainly get wiped away. We're not even going to act as if that exists, as Boba will go over the line, and this is a gigantic win, and he wins in Italy to keep the championship alive. However, if that 10-second penalty doesn't get wiped away, his championship is over. So, Boba will win the race. That almost certainly get wiped away in stewards after watching that back. I believe that was Nakuza second, then Jaguar third. Nikita in 4th after Massacre's God knows how many penalties dropped him to 5th. Lucky High One in 6th. Probably will ask for his 10 seconds back as well. If that's the case, he'll jump a position. Tichy in 7th, Pizemu in 8th, Jagdi in 9th, Chris in 10th, the Frosty One in 11th, and Wicked just going for the line a lap down. So, with that being said, I think we've just seen a change for the lead in the Constructors' Championship as well. Pizemu got 4 points, but Boba got the 25. Jaguar only able to amass 18. It was a 4-point lead going into the week for Jaguar, who's held extremely well, by the way. Actually, if Boba gets his thing away, it's 50. Jaguar held extremely well as a one-man crew. I think it's going to be about 10 points the other way in the Child Constructors Championship. Assuming, obviously, that Boba gets his penalty wiped away. I, after watching it back, almost certainly believe Wicked the problem there, not Boba. So we will go... We will go one more then. We will go to the end. It's 4 for Nikita in the end. So that is only the 12 points. The gap comes down to 15. As long as that penalty is wiped away, there should be no reason why it isn't. So we have a championship battle in Bahrain. We have multiple championship battles in Bahrain, and they both separated. One separated by 15, the other by 10. Jaguar's going to need Yala to show up and give him a little bit of support next week to try and get over the line and try and snatch it back from Boba, who has a far bigger task to worry about. But with that being said, we will have championship battles going into the final race of this season. And with that, within that scenario, I will see you guys same place, same time next week for Bahrain, Thursday, 8 o'clock, where we go racing one last time for this current season, season 19 of F1. Until then, peace.